The following feature is rated SM for spiritual maturity and is not intended for the immature who wishes to remain as such. The views expressed are not necessarily those of our sponsors, as they sometimes could not care less about what the host is saying, but is more concerned about having their product on a popular show. Warning, small minds, listen at your own risk, as this content is extremely overwhelming and may do further damage to those minds closed off to objective reality. Approach with an open mind, as the heavy nature of the content will lick your chip.
Alright, so today is International Women's Day, and a lot of places around the world is going to spend a lot of time talking about women and women's rights and what they have achieved and what they have accomplished and where they are coming from and how they are being held down and held back and how they are being discriminated against and how this and how that and all the other thing, right? Now, really, I think that it's about time that women stop the whining and stop ball like them a girl. And that is the thing, every time a man ball, them say he ball like him a girl. So women apparently have a monopoly on crying and expressing emotions and and venting their emotions, and that as a result of this, they end up dead. They end up dying because the men them who were not taught or were not allowed to express their emotions now become unstable and release their emotion in the form of violence, right? Killing many women, and then they say, okay, men are so wicked and men are so vile and men are so this and men are so that. All because women alone must cry. It's not just crying that women alone are allowed to do. It's a lot of things. Well, I mean, maybe we can get funding for prostate cancer. Maybe. But many of our illnesses that affect us, many things that affect men in terms of their illnesses. The money is not, if you say, okay, if you mention prostate cancer, all of a sudden it becomes a breast cancer conversation. It's no longer about prostate cancer. Every time we bring up something related to men and say we need to try and fix this, the women jump on it and go and like say, oh my God, how are things need to be fixed. And so what happened? All of the funding, all of the resources. In fact, we live in a world where if a man says, okay, men need this or men need that or men need the other thing, then that man is seen as somehow maybe he's homosexual or he doesn't like women. Or no, we don't have a problem with women, right? But we need equity in terms of the fact that we need to be able to access resources to take care of our issues. We need to be able to say, I am hurt. I was hurt by somebody, and I need this attention, or I need this. All right, think about this. Majority, about 70% of homeless persons are men, right? But yet still they have 99% of shelters do not accept men, right? So these shelters are made for women and children. So it's kind of weird. You understand? The people who need it the most, it is not there for them. Men pay most of the taxes, but yet still most of the everything that is there to protect all the social net is made for women, right? So I don't know what they're crying about or what they're bawling about. Even this man, they were talking about sexual harassment, right? And all right, so we have sexual harassment in many form. For example, talk about sexual harassment in the workplace. No, what we realize in this now, we talk about this now. We realize what happened is that the women normally look at the women who say they are sexually harassed. and tell me if you can figure out something about the whole of them. These women come out and usually they are either showing breast, leg, or thigh, or they are doing something. All right, imagine this: you're a woman, right? You are a woman, and you are going to work, and you look like some dolly, right? Because you have to put on 10 pounds of makeup on your face, and you're saying, "Oh my, what is that for?" If you go to work looking like you're looking somebody, then somebody is going to look you. It's not rocket science. You understand? When you have a breast out the door, when a woman have her breast out the door, or you can see underneath her as a man. Brother, as long as you're straight, what's going to happen is your brain is going to say, is going to kick into sex mode or trying to acquire some sex mode. And what that I gonna do? What that I gonna do in terms of the woman? You are going to say something. Sometimes it is not appropriate, but you have to remember say no man have enough blood for both ends. Is either the mood that go take over or the brain that go take over. Right? And so you have to think about that. So am I saying that men should not control themselves? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying women, there's also something for you to do. You can help to put a stop to it, right? By not dressing half naked on the road or in the office or wherever, right? Because a lot of the time, you guys put on the clothes, and dress naked for people soon. But when people soon, you go ball and say, no, the people them are soon. You confused or something, you mad, is what I'm doing, right? I'm saying that you guys need to shape up. You understand? Remember this. Yes, on the one hand, man need to control himself. But the other hand can't be that women suppose they can dress anywhere or do anything they want to do. That don't make no sense. You understand? Everything pair up. There's no reward without, there's no reward without action. There's no action without consequence. You understand? Alright. Pre this. A man are wear the man them now. The man them are wear them pants below them ass. Right? No, if a man come up to you and say, oh, your ass look good or whatever them come up and say, can you blame that man? When you have your ass out the door? Brother, you have your ass out the door. So if a man see it and a comment on it, a your fault. And you put the ass out there if you can get to see it to comment on it. You understand? Yes, some women are heavily gifted up top, meaning that they have some large breasts. But sometimes, even when they have small breasts, they make their breasts like the center of attention. They try to get people looking at their breasts. I see women going to work and their skirt. Normally, from what I know, skirts are worn at the waist, right? I see women drop the skirt underneath their breasts, right? Just so the skirt will not pass their knee or really their mid-thigh, right? If you come to work looking like a prostitute, then people are going to ask if you're doing business, right? No. Alright, so one of the things that is said, like for example in Jamaica, is that women are doing well. Well, yes, women are doing well in business and they are middle and upper management. They have gotten a lot of that. But what is happening in the world, right, and it's very sexist, is that they are making laws to say that you have to have X percentage of women, not X percentage of one gender. Get that? The law doesn't say you must have 10%, at least 10% of any gender. It's going to say you need to have at least 10% women, which means that they don't have a problem with anything being 100% women, but they have a problem with it being 100% men, which don't make no sense to me. But to think about it even further, when you think about workplace, a lot of when women are in power, when women are up top, and they hire women, and they don't have a problem hiring women. But men, we have a problem hiring women because when you say something to a woman, if you say to a woman, if you say to a man, you know, if you don't get this work done by the end of this week, I'm going to have your ass, for example. That's just an expression. That's just an expression for him. But if you say that to a woman, then it all of a sudden becomes sexual. It's sexual harassment and whatever the case may be. So a lot of the time, even nowadays, women have set up themselves in such a way where many men have decided that, hey, listen, I'm not going to have a meeting with a woman without a third party present, or unless I'm in a room that is being recorded. Because women are coming out to tell lies on these men. They are coming out to tell lies, say the man touched them or the man acted indecently or improperly. Right? And as long as there's that fear, then men are not going to want to hire women. Furthermore, right? As I've spoken about this on many occasions. When you have a man and a woman, based on their roles in society, their roles are different. And women want to play the role of a man, but they can't, or they really don't. Because when you look at it, you have work to do. Let's say you have some work to do. All right, cool. Work to do. You say you have a woman manager or a man manager, whatever the position is. And you say to the man, okay, I'm going to need you to stay extra 2 hours or extra 3 hours. The man is more likely to say yes. If you say that to a woman, she's going to tell you that she needs to go home to cook, to wash, to take care of the kids, to whatever she can't stay, or it's going to be unsafe for her. It's going to be all different kind of argument, right? Which is why people, when people are thinking in terms of a business, people are in a business, people want the people who are going to be reliable in certain ways, so they can say, okay, I'm going to say to Sam, I need you to work extra hours, or I need you to do this or this. And then Sam is going to oblige. They don't want to go to Sam, and then Sam is going to be like, no, I can't do that. Right? So that's part of it. Secondly, when it comes to certain work that require heavy lifting, right? Say you're carrying blocks, and let's say you're paying $10 a day. The woman probably pay $8. All right, cool. Here's the thing: with the woman is probably gonna carry like 1 block, and then the man is going to carry like 2 blocks in each trip. So the man is, at the end of the day, the man is going to do more work. Now I'm talking about physical labor here. I'm talking about physical labor. Men are end up going to do more physical labor than women, because women they don't have the body for it. Right? Now, when it comes to dominating certain sectors, when you look at sectors like for example, nursing, yes, there are men in nursing, but it's very few men that are in nursing, and nobody bats an eye, nobody gives a rat's ass that there are so few men in nursing. Nobody say, well, you need to have at least 1 man. Nobody says that. And that's okay. That's fine. We don't have a problem. Right? Because it is not a job that we are going after. We are not interested in it. Most of us. Right? And if you are interested in any job, you should be hired based on your competence, not based on your genitalia. Right? So that's it. We should not be spending time on making laws that is going to dictate that a private company must hire X amount of women or X amount of whatever, right? Because that is not going. That's not how we carry society forward. That's how we hold society back, right? Because a lot of the time something would have been done already, but because it's this person or that person, right? For example, there's probably 0% men in early childhood, right? No one is going to carry their daughters or their little son to give a man to do babysitting or that. It's not going to happen unless it's their family member. It's not going to happen, right? And we don't have a problem, as I said, because there are just certain jobs that women will be better at. I'll admit it. There are certain jobs that women will be better at, and there are certain jobs that men will be better at, and there are certain jobs that neither would be better at. It's up to the personal person. But never do I believe that someone should dictate and say, hey, um, you're a man or you're a woman or you're this or you're that. And so what does that mean? That means that I want you to get this advantage over the next person just because you're this. Because you're a woman, I want you to get this advantage where you are able to get a job, not because you're qualified, but because you're trying to give some quota. That doesn't make sense. I mean, in Jamaica, we have a Ministry of Gender Affairs that is only concerned, its only concern is with the affairs of women, right? And yet still we have men who are mentally challenged, my words, not a doctor's, that and the reason why I say they are mentally challenged is because these men find it, they have some dispute with their lover, right? Whether it be their wife, girlfriend, or whatever, and they choose to kill them and kill themselves. When you're making decisions like that, there is something deeply wrong with you, and we need to set up the institution, we need the support system to allow us to deal with these issues before they become deadly, right? Before they become a problem where we see persons complaining or bawling or saying that men are killing or women or doing this or that or the other thing, because what is happening is that we're not lending the support to our men. Even the education system, if you look at it, majority of the persons in universities and colleges are women. Why is that? That is by design, right? And what do I mean that is by design? I mean, when you look at it from this way, men and women learn differently. The way our men learn is different than the way our women learn. Now, women learn by, I would think, by hearing, while men learn by actually doing it, right? So what happened is that most teachers in Jamaica, at least, are able to teach girls, and girls will learn, while they are not able to teach boys. So boys don't learn, and they blame the child, saying, "Oh my God, these boys, their heads are so tough," but they just learn differently. And we have set up schools, many schools, that are there to teach in a way where girls will learn more. Sometimes we even facilitate the girls in certain circumstances, and we not the boys. And so these girls and boys will grow up into adults. So firstly, the girls think they are so academically gifted. Not saying that they are not, but because the system was made favorable to them, they don't need to work as hard as men in terms of getting an education, because it is done in a way that the girls, will be able to understand what is going on quicker than the boys, who will not be able to understand, based on the fact that that is not the way that they are best able to learn, right? So that is what is going on in terms of the whole situation. That's what is going on. And then we say, oh, the boys are this or the boys are that, but we need to give them the support. We need to give them support. We need to give girls support, but we also need to give boys support. We need to give women support, but we also need to give men support, because we see International Women's Day, and there's has always been this big hoorah surrounding International Women's Day, but not so with International Men's Day. And a lot of people even laugh and mock and jeer men. But we have issues. We are committing suicide. We are dying at work. There's a lot of things that are happening that is happening to us, right? And a lot of the time, what we look at is that, all right, let's say a man beats a woman. All right, cool. I can find that despicable, just like the other person. But we never say anything when a woman is going to say to a man that you can't hold a job, you have a better chance holding a wet soap. When a woman says something like that to a man and do those psychological blows to the man, right? Everybody is okay, but I'm saying those cuts, those scars that women inflict on men are very real. They are real, especially for persons who are told that they should not be emotional, they should not cry, they should not express any form of emotion, because expressing any form of emotion, crying or showing any weakness, is considered to be weakness, right? So we are the ones who are creating a society and then complaining about the society that we have created, right? We are the ones talking about finding the solution when we are the problem. We are the problem, because we do not support our men, and until we start supporting our men and giving them an equitable amount of support to allow them, right, to be decent, law-abiding citizens who can cry if they want, they have the same support that women have, we are going to have a problem. We are going to find that women are going to be under attack. I'm not saying I'm going to attack women, but I'm saying a person who is not emotionally mature, or is not allowed to express their emotion, is going to bottle up, and when it bottle up, it's going to manifest in another way. And when it manifests in that way, right, the society is going to blame the person who has the problem, when we are the one who make sure that they have the problem. Check Jamaica, as I say, there's one woman prison and it doesn't hold 500 inmates, right? It doesn't even hold 300 inmates, but yet still we have 13 adult correctional facilities for men. That doesn't add up to me. So our vision then, our vision is to put away all our men in institutions, institutionalize our men, right? Is that what we are here to do, right? If we really want to improve the lives of our men, or improve the life of society, or improve the life of women, we have to improve the life. We have to create these social safety nets. And I don't just mean in terms of money, I also mean in terms of allowing men these outlets so they can express themselves without ridicule or without shame, right? We have to allow those emotions to be expressed, or when they are expressed, we are not going to like the way that they are expressed, because society is very strange. It's very strange to me, because, for example, recently we hear there was this outcry in Jamaica for women to have the right to have an abortion. No. My question has always been, and will always be, because I don't understand this whole thing. My question will be, and has always been, right? If right, the women are allowed to have an abortion without anyone say, no, I'm not talking about the government, but without even the say of the man who got you pregnant, he doesn't have a say. It's your body, which in you're not aborting your body. You're aborting the body within your body. I'm saying you want the right to make that decision by yourself. But if you decide that that child, you want that child to come here, you want to bring that child here, you want to have that child, you are telling me that when that child is born, this man who does not have a right to say yes or no to an abortion that you want to have should be held responsible for that child. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure what you're going to say is the woman who will bring the child is going to say, but I didn't want an abortion. I don't, that law doesn't apply to me. But it doesn't apply to you. No. It can't be that, it can't be a law unless we're going to separate and call some of you women A and some of you women B, and then saying, okay, anybody from women A, those are the persons who want to have abortions, and women B are those who want to have birth, and there is going to be some way to identify or separate you for the lay person, then it never work. It can't be that we want to say, okay, here's what we're going to say. We're going to say women must have every right to do whatever they want before birth, but after birth, men must take responsibility. It doesn't work like that. Right? If men are supposed to take responsibility at birth, then they must have right before birth. You understand? It can't be something that just automatically pop up. It doesn't make any sense. No. The other thing that that people need to understand is that men also go through emotional anguish when a woman has an abortion. Woman has an abortion. It affects us. Yes, it affects us. I know that a lot of people probably don't believe, but it actually affects us. What if that's the only child that a man gets to produce? You have aborted that child. You're telling me that that does not affect the man? It only affects you because it's your body, right? What happened is that a lot of women, they are leaving the women role. They don't want to be women anymore. They want to be men, right? And yet still they tell us that we are disgusting. We are everything that is bad. We are disgusting. We are terrible. We are all the bad things that you can think of. But yet still, women want to be us. Why? Why would you want to be such an awful thing? Think about it. Why would you want to be that? Why? Why would you want to be such a disgusting thing that you all say that we are? We sexually abuse persons, usually by just looking at them. Right? We don't take care of our kids. We do all of these negative things, and yet still, we are what you want to be. You are the ones who keep saying that we are above you. When that can't be true, right? Even look at female. Female, because they want to dominate. All right, look at female. Let's look at female for a second. Females are going to say, well, all right, cool. What talk now? Females are going to say that when men are in power, men are oppressing them. Yet still, for the last however long men have been in power, and we have been making laws. All of our laws that we have made have been laws to protect women, right? In fact, if you look at a woman certain way in certain parts of the world, you can be charged. If you look at her and she feels uncomfortable with you looking at her, you can be charged for it. You can go to prison, right? But yet still, what kind of laws do females seem as if they want to make? Females want to make laws that says that female must get everything. Right? So men, when we have it, we make laws to protect female. When females have it now, they are going to make laws that allows them to dominate everything. And then they are going to say that's equality. But what we have now is equity. And that is what we cannot afford to lose. We cannot afford to allow feminism or anything to cause us to lose this. And I'm saying to all these men who have somewhere lost their balls, right? And I think that a lot of the time, because men want to have sex again, they're afraid to say what needs to be said, or they're afraid about how people are going to think about them or look at them. I'm saying, fuck that. Don't give a fuck. Listen, if the one that women will always have sex with men, if 90% of women say, yo, we not have sex with no more man, trust me, we still find women to have sex with. So don't worry about the sex, right? Because what women like strength, and when you show strength, that you trust me, you'll get through better than if you dead here and you're not showing any strength, right? A lot of the time we don't show no backbone. We don't show that. We go on like say, oh, you know. So we're not showing any backbone, and that is what is showing off. So we need to stand up for something. I'm not saying women, you know, celebrate what you have achieved, celebrate what you have accomplished, but in your celebration, remember, this is your time for your celebration. So on November 19, when we are going to have our celebration, don't come with your nonsense or come and try to block what our progress or what we are supposed to get. Because if you do that, then you'll always be complaining about us, because you are the one. So basically you're blocking the resources and then complaining about how the lack of resources has caused us to be the beast that we are, right? So I'm not going to take up much more of your time. Happy International Women's Day, and love you all. Later.